Hello, I'm Dan Pelosi. I'm here in my backyard in Brooklyn. Today we're making my grilled vegetable stuffed peppers, and I can't wait to show you how we do it. I am using cubanelle peppers. The first thing I'm gonna do is prep them to be stuffed. So we're gonna take them and cut just a tiny bit off the top. I'm gonna save this because that'll be great in our stuffing. And then what you'll do is go in, how pretty that is, and just grab, there you go, the seeds and the core. These are delicious. They're longer, narrower than a classic bell pepper, but they're perfect for this recipe. So because like a bell pepper is really round and dense, this is thinner and will cook in the same amount of time as the outside. So it's truly perfect. I love this dish, one, because it's a great vegetarian option. Barbecues typically aren't as vegetarian friendly as you like, and this makes a great side, but it also can be a really great main dish. Now I'm gonna take the tops, and I really wanna make sure that I save as much of the pepper as I can. So I'm just gonna chop around the stem. No food waste here. Did I talk about how much I love the color of these peppers? I just think like an electric green, almost like neon pepper. Genius. Thank you, Mother Nature. Let's make the stuffing. The first part is getting everything mixed together. I have some zucchini. I've cut everything into like sizes, about a ½ inch chunks. I've got some mushrooms. The next thing I have is a little bit of tomato paste. I love a little bit of tomatoey flavor in this because I grew up mostly having like marinara sauce in my bottle as a baby. I'm gonna add some garlic. I've got some chunks of sourdough. These are gonna add a nice breadiness to the stuffing. A little bit of salt and a little bit of heat. This again is totally optional, but I like this to be a little spicy. Then we're gonna add some freshly ground pepper. Delicious. And then the last thing we're gonna add is some of this Sir Kensington's classic mayo. We're gonna really cook this and get it nice and browned and nice and delicious, and the mayo does the best job of doing that. I find that this mayonnaise has like the bigger complexity of flavors. It really gives you the depth that you want. It's got that kind of lemony note to it. So I'm gonna do about a ½ cup. Okay, I'm gonna give it one big, there we go. I was trying to be dainty for you, but there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna get this in here, give it a really good stir, get everything mixed together, and go right to the grill. I've had so many different variations on stuffed peppers throughout my life. My grandfather, he's adorable, he's 100. He's like sort of my Italian king, and he makes a delicious cubanelle pepper that's stuffed with like raisins and sausage, but I love a nice vegetarian version. Sort of the best part about summer is grilling up vegetables. Okay, we're almost there with this. Let's just have a moment for how beautiful this color is. It's incredible. It gets even better once it hits the grill. Can't wait. I have a surprise for you. Inside of my grill, which is on and nice and hot, I have a cast iron skillet. This is nice and heated up. It's ready to go. I'm gonna pour this in there. Perfect. Now I'm gonna give it some stirs. And the way that Sir Kensington's mayo makes the vegetables brown up is just like no other. These won't take too long to cook, probably about 15 to 20 minutes. You just wanna let it go, stir it occasionally, and then pull it when all the veggies are softened and everything is nice and browned. Now, if you don't have the ability to have a pan on a grill, of course you can do this on your stovetop, but I just love in the summer to bring everything outside and just cook it through on the grill. It's really nice, it's easy to do when you're having company, gorgeous color developing. So these are off to an incredible start. I'm gonna shut the grill. Don't obsess over it. You want them to really develop like a gorgeous golden crust. So our vegetables have been on the grill in the skillet getting nice and crispy for about 20 minutes now. Make sure you protect your hands. Ah, gorgeous. So pretty. I just need you to take a look at how beautifully brown these are. They're just so crispy, so delicious. Now, we are going to take these and stuff them in these peppers. But before that, I have a little surprise. When I was a kid, I used to go to Friendly's and they had a happy ending sundae. And at the bottom of the happy ending sundae, there was a few Reese's Pieces, and it was the best thing that ever happened when you got to the bottom of it. So I am, instead of Reese's Pieces, doing little cubes of mozzarella. So when you get to the bottom of your pepper, there's a little bit of melty cheese. And then I'm gonna take as much of this filling as will reasonably fit, and then put a little bit more. Use a nice spoon that'll fit inside of the pepper. Make sure you get like a pretty good amount of veggies. And then I'm just gonna get through all of these, and then we'll pop them back on the grill. It's really important that you press down. The pepper can handle it. You're not gonna break the pepper. So, before we put them onto the grill, we want to give them a little extra coating to make them super crispy, super tasty, and just beautiful. So what we're going to do is take Sir Kensington's classic mayo, brush it on all sides of the pepper, and that's going to make sure that when it hits the grill, it starts charring immediately. And when I tell you these peppers are going to glisten, they're going to glisten. Just bit by bit. You can always add more. I'm going to grab my brush, and then I'm just gonna grab each pepper and just sort of hold it like this, get a little bit of mayo, and just kind of paint them. This gets a little messy, but what fun is that? I've already got mayo on my shirt. That's a sign of success. You know, I went to art school, so I might be particularly skilled at painting a pepper with mayonnaise. You be the judge. And I just want to say that yes, a little bit of the filling is falling out, and that's okay. We're still gonna pop it back on the grill. My last one here. Let's see. Make sure I get plenty of mayo, and you can always hit it one more time once it's on the grill. Can't get enough mayo. I have a little trick for you. You're gonna take your grill, mine is nice and hot, and just put a little piece of folded foil just in the front of your grill. And then as I carefully place the peppers on, I'm gonna place them so that the open end of the pepper kind of just is right on that foil. So the pepper will grill, but any extra filling that comes out will just hang out on that foil. Need a little bed for them. So these are already starting to sizzle. They're glistening, glowing, and wow, they're the perfect amount of foil. I really did a good job of that. I am gonna take the stuffing that fell off and just kind of pop it in front of them so that they cook. Again, these are gonna be extra crispy and delicious, so I can already hear them sizzling. I'm gonna cook them for about 15 minutes. About halfway through, I'll carefully flip them so they get nice and browned on both sides. You want the pepper to get softened. It shouldn't be like overly falling apart, but you want to get it nice and cooked, and the most important thing is that it's glowing and nice and charred. So I'm going to wish these ladies a good night and be back in about 8 minutes. Are you ready? Ta-da! They have such a great char on the outside. They're perfectly cooked, and the inside got extra, extra crispy. Let's get these on a plate so that we can get them into my mouth. All of this extra stuffing and plop it on here because we don't want to let any go to waste. They're so gorgeous, nice and charred. I'm obsessed with these marks. It's perfectly soft without being overcooked. This is all the mayo. Bless you, Sir Kensington's. We're gonna go in, get a taste. I've already decided this one is for me. Are you ready? Nicely cooked. I see a little bit of that surprise cheese. You can tell I knew the cheese was there, so I went right for the end. Grab some of this bread. Get all these vegetables. It just tastes like summer. There's so many levels of flavor. All of your favorite vegetables. That's sort of like fresh, lemony depth of flavor that the Sir Kensington mayo brings, both on the outside and the inside, giving you two different unexpected impacts of flavor. Grilling doesn't get better than this. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go and eat this whole plate of peppers. See you soon.